yeah, the title of this year application is Gamerator, the #1 place to rate games. That's what I was going for. So the vision that I had from the very start, that I went over with the squadron being Fernando, Leonardo, and Ramon. They're going to introduce themselves later. But the vision I had was I wanted a nice, clean website that required Google login. So just a title and a login. And once you're logged in, you then, or that's the only time when you're going to be able to use the app or make any sort of ratings. And the whole idea is it shows you trending games of the latest categories. Let me start up that slideshow. It shows you trending games of the latest categories, and then you just cast your vote for them, 1 to 5 stars, and then you can check out the leaderboard that we have that logs them. We connected to an API called rawg.io. So that was just a massive game database that gave us like publisher, like Metacritic ratings, screenshots, images, all sorts of stuff about the game. We can get it from there. You have 1 vote per user, so be very careful, rate wisely. Well, the point is you click on a card, you look at the game, pops up more information, you see if you like it, and you just make a rating. You don't have to know it. You can know it, doesn't matter. But based on the information you see, you make a rating. Features to authorize Google login, I really wanted to stress that because I think it's really cool. And I always thought that that was like the sign of being an official website as far as I'm concerned. So Google login, like if someone had that, I was always like, wow, this person's far too advanced, but we did it. But like the other team said, I forget, it was the InTouch team. Google login takes a piece of your sanity with you when you try to work with it. So we were all definitely hurt individually by Google login, but we came out more proud men by the end of it. So let's go take a look and see what happened. This was a bit of the relationship database. And Ramon, do you want to actually take a bit to talk about this and how you set this up?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. So this is our initial outline, but since we had to scrap the review section of our website due to time constraints. So because of that, our database composes of a user table which holds all of the users and each individual vote that they've had. Because one of our features is that a user can't vote more than once on a specific game, so they can't overvote. And then the game table, which would hold all the games and all of the information that we needed to create our front end. That's pretty much it for the database.
Sure. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to pass on to Fernando. We're all just going to talk a little bit about what each of us did on the project.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Fernando. So basically on this project, I worked mostly on the front end. I was in charge of the styling and visuals that are shown throughout the website. So once we load it in, you're going to see how the website runs and looks. So it gives the users a really fluent experience on what card they click and how the information pops up. I worked on the fetching and displaying that each card is shown for each video game. So once we get on the website, you'll see how each one is actually fully displayed and shown. And I routed each link on the navigation bar that we have on our own website. And once you click on each genre on that navigation bar, it redirects you to a different genre with the full list of video games for each one to choose from.
And then what I did is I worked part with Fernando. We did a lot of front end stuff together. You're going to see when we show you a demo of the website, we were kind of big on making cards for everything. So you have like a square card of the game. You click on that, an even bigger card will open up with more information. I had to do a lot of work with the deployment and getting the Google Cloud, the Netlify to work, which I don't even think we ended up using, the Heroku. And nobody really mentioned it, but being a maintainer of the repositories is really hard. Taking in 4 people's code at once and then really sifting through it, making sure that you know what they did. So I spent a lot of time just on the merge page, just sitting there looking at 2 different versions for at least 10 minutes. So I put a lot of time into that. So let that be known. I wrote that old footer.js. I would like to let everyone know I did that 4 projects ago. And I told my team, guys, if we make a really good footer right now, we'll never have to make one ever again. And I didn't lie to them, and I used it in every single project, and I changed it since. This one, however, has been modified lightly by Leonardo to include our LinkedIn's. The logo on the front page and the star icons, I made all of those. They kind of suck, but they're kind of cool. And Leo, if you want to take it over to talk about what you did a little bit.
All right, so I mainly worked on the backend, the database. I helped set up the routing in the backend. I created the models, logic in the database, worked on creating the Google authentication login, which was like a real huge pain. But luckily, Ramon helped me with that, so we're all good. Helped set up environment config data for the backend and on deployed environments, and I helped in the front end after Ramon and I finished the backend.
And then Ramon did a lot of work on the back end. I'm going to start by, before he even talks, he did a lot of work on that back end. Well, if someone wrote it. He did do a lot of hard work. He's goated.
My name is Ramon. I work mostly on the back end. I work with like the seeding of the data and like the database structure, and then also set up the API routes for the front end, like anything they would need in terms of data and like data storage. Once me and Leo finished with the back end, we helped with the front end because that was like the big bulk of the work. And I helped I worked on the front end like Google login section and the pop-up functionality on the site that you guys are gonna see very soon. I also made the leaderboard of the site, and I helped Fernando a little bit with the styling. But yeah.
For sure. And that's really it. So let me just get on to the demo and show you guys what we're doing. So I got a local one over here. This is scary, but let's do it anyway, boys. Local host, welcome to Gamerator. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna log in using Google. Aha, I've been blessed. Okay, it works. And you can see it passed in my information. We now have a logout button over here. And this is our welcome page. So it just explains to you basically what is this, what do we do? It's a place where you get to vote, get your vote on, made with love by 4 handsome programmers. And just hire us and please in really small font. So if they go to inspect that, if they really care, they might see that. But moving on, if you go to like action or look at all these are all styled by Fernando, RPG, shooter, indie. I think this is really important, having styling like this. It just makes everything look super nice. But let's check out a page. So action. So this is what happens when you load up one of the pages, you get a bunch of games. So this is the latest action games. And for example, let's say you click on a game, you get this card that pops up. Also, Muhammad, this is for you, a pop-up. Check that out. And Muhammad, this one's also for you, a pop-up in the pop-up. All right, I'll rest my case on that one. But over here, this is where you're going to interact with everything. These stars over here, I made these. I'm very proud of those. But you only get 1 rating. So check this out. So you click on it, you rate. I've already voted on that game. Well, let me rate. See Counter-Strike. Okay, so I just rated it. Well, let me rate it again. So if I go to the leaderboard now, you'll see that somewhere on there Counter-Strike is listed, or maybe it's not voted high enough. But this is really the meat of the website right here. You get to check around, click around, look at a bunch of stuff. This is the infamous footer that I was talking about with all of our information. And most of the meat of the project is already here. The styling, of course, the little on hover effects, I think that was also super important. And the functionality works. You log in, you log back in. It's the same database. Nothing's changed over there. And actually, I know it does. That's a good point, Lucy.
There's also links within the pop-ups that you could click on for each game.
And we have this jank version that we made. So I want to see what's going to happen. We made this version, so you just make a username and you log in. Yeah, Ramon just put it in there. So I didn't put any tallies on the votes. I didn't vote for any games. So if you go on there, just put in your name and log in and vote. Those should be live votes from everybody. And I'm kind of scared. So let's see, Matt.
One little note. We had fully like implemented the Google login functionality.
Oh yeah, about this.
When we went to deploy last night, we spent hours and hours trying to like figure out this one error that we got. So we weren't able to like in time for the demo now to have like the actual Google login on the deployed site. So instead, I last second just put like a very simple input login. So like if you guys could just like put like your actual like email and just like imagine it's a Google login, I'd be very
hey, and we
happy.
got some real live votes there, and so if these ratings were in here when we started. Now let's see. Oh, we got more coming in. Yeah, so I mean, and this is pretty much the the meat of the app right here. And that's really it.
Make sure to check out the My Career tab on the BC Navigator app. where you can track your career progress based on the amount of credits you've earned, stay updated on upcoming events from the Magner Center, and watch our videos for insight and advice on your career field.